Welcome to BFH Highlights, where we bring you the most impactful moments from the Business is Fucking Hard podcast. I'm your host, Trevor Coote, and on today's episode, we're going to recap our conversation with Declan Edwards, founder of BU Happiness College. Declan shares profound lessons from his journey, how he redefined success and built a business focused on making a difference. We'll cover insights on resilience, purpose, and building a culture that prioritizes happiness over profit. Hi there, I'm Trevor Coote, and this is Business is Fucking Hard, the podcast where business owners pull back the curtain and talk about the realities of owning a business. We'll hear their stories, learn some lessons, and have some fun along the way. Thanks for joining us. Declan's journey took a pivotal turn when he realized that true success wasn't just about financial gains. During a trip abroad, he had a wake-up call that led him to transition from fitness into a venture more aligned with his values. Let's hear from Declan on what it took to leave behind a business he built and the lessons he learned in moving towards something more meaningful.
You know, had a good client list, I had a good reputation, I was making pretty decent money for my age and experience level. And my wife and I took a bit of a break to go to the US. We traveled through the US for a bit over 2 months. And I realized as we were approaching the end of the 2 months that I was dreading going home to the business that I'd spent 4 years building. I was afraid to step back into that business. And that really hit hard. And I remember doing a lot of soul searching and going, what's behind that? And the core reason was I just didn't believe in what I was doing anymore. I didn't believe I was making the impact that I wanted to make in people's lives. The reality is, for a lot of people, when it comes to their health and well-being, it's not a lack of knowledge. A lot of people generally know what to eat and how to move their body. The problem's in behavior, and I hadn't learned enough about behavior change or psychology to do that confidently or well. And so I was having this real moral and ethical clash with my own business. And I remember saying to my fiance at the time, now my wife, hey, I think when we get home, I want to close the business. And she was gobsmacked. She went, what do you mean? You've sacrificed so much for so many years. How could you possibly think? And it was a real moment of, I could have fallen into that sunken cost fallacy of, well, I've come this far, I need to keep going. And I'm so glad I didn't. There was something in me, intuition, gut instinct, whatever you want to call it, that was like, there's something else I'm meant to be doing. And that was the pain motivation, was I don't want to go back to what I've made, which is scary as a business owner to admit to. And then the pleasure side was, well, what do I want to do? And I realized I wanted to learn a lot more about behavioral change, psychology, mental health, and well-being.
As Declan grew BU Happiness College, he focused on a mission bigger than himself: growing global happiness. This vision helped him rally a team and scale the impact of his work. Here, he discusses the importance of purpose in business and how it shaped BU Happiness College's direction.
So when I made that move and started, opening what would become BU Happiness College, because it was so aligned from day one with, well, what's the purpose of this? What does it stand for? I didn't even know at the time that there was such thing as a social enterprise or a for-purpose, for-profit organization. Right. I didn't know about any of this. I was just like, I want to have something that feels meaningful to me. And I ended up boiling it down to, I want the world to be happier. And that eventually became our vision of grow global happiness, right? We exist to grow global happiness. That's why this entity exists. And just from day one, having that thought, what it encouraged me to do was think at a larger scale. Because I started going, wow, if I'm going to grow global happiness, if I'm going to change happiness on a global scale,
it doesn't seem daunting at all.
I know, right? And so I need to immediately go, this needs to be about something more than me. So I need to start thinking about, how do I rally a team to this? How do I build out great, staff members and community members? B, I need to be thinking about, how does this spread a ripple effect, and how do we impact people's lives who we may never actually meet or work with? And C, I need to start thinking more than just, how do I work one-to-one with people? We need to think about, again, how do we go one-to-many? And actually, someone asked me a couple of years ago whilst I was traveling, they were like, can you digest what you do at BU Happiness College down onto like a napkin? And I went, yeah, I can now. It's taken many years to get there, but I can. I wrote at the top, purpose to grow global happiness. How do we do that? And I went, well, first step, we help individuals be happier. And that's what we went to market with, because that's the community I already had from personal training. I knew how to work with people on an individual scale. I already had people who wanted to better themselves.
Every business has tough days, but for Declan, 2019 brought a major crisis. He returned from a transformative trip only to find that his business had a limited financial runway. In this clip, Declan opens up about the pressure, the difficult decisions he had to make, and the resilience that saw him through one of his hardest days.
We're 2 years into going BU Happiness College. This is where we're at that stage where we're having fast growth. We've gone from 3 to 11 staff. We're on top of the world. It looks like we're absolutely smashing things. And we took our first ever international, we call it Expedition Happiness. It's like a retreat overseas for people to go learn about happiness, learn from another culture. We went to Africa and did a safari. And then as a group, we set out to climb Kilimanjaro. And that pretty well broke me. I really struggled with altitude sickness at the top. I really got beaten down by that mountain. So I was not in a good headspace to start with, or good physically. I got home from that trip. We flew home the day after we got off Mount Kilimanjaro and got home and made the mistake of going, I'm just going to check with where the business is at after I've been away for a month in Africa. The worst headspace and worst time to check in on where your business is at is after nearly dying at the top of a high altitude mountain and then flying home on a long haul flight. If you ever find yourself in that situation, please don't open your laptop and look at the business finances. Because I realized...
Not the time.
Yeah, I opened the business finances and went, whoa, we're hemorrhaging money. We have about a 6-week runway before we close this. And I had no idea. And look, that's a fault on me for not monitoring that better. I had a business partner at the time, and that was in charge of that side of the company. I was more front end, marketing, sales, product development. He was back end with finances, systems, and ops and all that. But why didn't you tell me? And again, this is a fault on me that I can go to the time. He goes, I was scared to tell you. So we didn't have a lot of trust in our working relationship. We didn't have a lot of psychological safety to be able to have those tough conversations. And so it just got swept under the rug. He's like, I thought I'd tell you after we got back from the retreat. And so now I'm faced with, I have 6 weeks to turn this business around before we collapse. This is where I go, we need to go from 11 people. We need to reduce down to a core staff as fast as possible. And I'll tell you what, that night, I barely slept at all.
One of the defining aspects of Declan's journey is how he's built a resilient, value-driven culture at BU Happiness College. With a clear set of principles, Declan prioritizes his team, clients, and community impact over pure profit. Let's listen as he talks about creating a culture that supports hard decisions while staying aligned with his vision.
So all of our team, all of our staff, everyone involved at BU goes, hey, this is how we make decisions. It is based through our purpose and our vision of growing global happiness. It is based through our core values. It is based, on weighing up what's equally scary and exciting, the green light principle we use in decision making as well as an organization. It is based on how do we prioritize the ship and the health and safety of the ship overall. And so everyone agrees to this. It's part of their onboarding now. As we hire people, they come in, we go, we understand how decisions are going to be made, whether it's decisions in easy times or decisions in hard times. They're all going to be made from this same guiding set of principles. And I'll tell you what, that has made such a difference for my peace of mind, such a difference for my own mental health as a business owner, such a difference for our team in terms of a sense of buy-in and ownership and collective understanding.
Yeah.
It's something that I can recommend to any and every business owner is have a one-page set of principles or foundations about how you make decisions. Be it easy decisions, hard decisions, good decisions, bad decisions, whatever.
Right.
How we're going to make a decision. And if we can look back on a decision and go, we made it from those principles, then whatever the outcome, we stand by it. Whatever happens as a result of it, we stand by it because we made a decision in a way that we have agreed to make decisions.
Declan's journey is a powerful example of what it means to lead with purpose and resilience. By staying true to his values, he's built a business that impacts lives, proving that real success truly goes beyond profits. Thanks for tuning in to BFH Highlights. To hear more of Declan's story, check out the full conversation on the Business is Fucking Hard podcast. See you next time.